Remembering Days of Our Lives icon Macdonald Carey on his birthday. March 15 marks what would have been the birthday of Macdonald Carey, the beloved patriarch who anchored Days of Our Lives for nearly 3 decades. His voice, resonant, warm, and timeless, still echoes in the homes of millions each day, a haunting reminder that some legacies truly are immune to the passage of time. If you have ever found yourself pausing on the couch as an hourglass appears on screen, listening to that famous epigraph, you have heard a ghost. Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. For nearly 30 years, that voice belonged to Macdonald Carey, and today, on what would have been his 113th birthday, we look back at the man who became the heart of Salem long before it was a town of supernatural twists and high-profile heists. Born Edward Macdonald Carey in Sioux City, Iowa, on March 15, 1913, the man who would become Dr. Tom Horton started his journey far from the fictional hospital corridors of University Hospital. He was a tall, handsome Iowan who graduated from the University of Iowa, initially dabbling in everything but acting before the drama school stage caught his imagination. Before he ever donned a stethoscope for the cameras, Carey was a bona fide star of the golden age of radio and a striking presence on Broadway. He cut his teeth on serials like Stella Dallas and John's Other Wife, proving he understood the rhythm of melodrama long before he ever set foot in daytime television. But Carey was not just a soap opera actor, he was a rugged leading man cut from the cloth of 1940s Hollywood. During World War II, he enlisted in the United States Marine Corps, serving his country before returning to the silver screen. He worked with the master of suspense himself, Alfred Hitchcock, playing the romantic lead Jack Graham in the 1943 classic Shadow of a Doubt. He held his own opposite the likes of Paulette Goddard, Betty Grable, and Alan Ladd, earning a reputation in Hollywood circles as a reliable star. So much so that he shared the unofficial throne of the King of the Bees with Lucille Ball. By the time the 1960s rolled around, he had a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and a career that spanned dozens of films. Yet, it was a chance meeting with a producer that would define the final chapter of his life. In 1965, Ted Corday approached Carey to appear in a new kind of television venture, a daytime drama that would focus on the trials and tribulations of a Corps family in a mythical Midwestern town called Salem. Initially, Carey took the role of Dr. Tom Horton because, as he bluntly put it, "I couldn't get a movie at the time." That pragmatic decision birthed an icon. On November 8, 1965, Days of Our Lives premiered, and Macdonald Carey, as the Horton family patriarch, became its anchor. At a time when movies were slowing down for him, daytime television offered a steady paycheck and a unique challenge. By 1966, his voice had been added to the opening sequence, giving the show its signature gravitas. There was something about Carey's portrayal of Tom Horton that resonated. Unlike many soap characters who flit from scandal to scandal, Tom Horton was a rock. His marriage to Alice Horton, played by Frances Reed, was a televised testament to enduring love. However, the man narrating the passage of time was fighting his own battles against the clock. Off-screen, Carey struggled with severe alcoholism, a demon he battled for years. His drinking contributed to the breakdown of his 28-year marriage to Elizabeth Heckscher in 1969, and it threatened to derail his career entirely. But in 1982, Carey made a pivotal decision. He joined Alcoholics Anonymous. He was open about his recovery, proving that even a man who sounded as steady as an anchor could face turbulent waters. In his 1991 autobiography, The Days of My Life, he chronicled his struggles with remarkable candor, hoping to help others fighting the same fight. Carey's talents extended beyond the soundstage. He was a man of letters, publishing 3 volumes of poetry throughout his life. He was invited to teach poetry at the University of South Carolina, which later awarded him an honorary doctorate in fine arts. It is a poignant image. The face of a massive television commodity, quietly writing verses, contemplating the very sands of time he spoke of daily. He remained a heavy pipe smoker for much of his life, a habit that eventually caught up with him. In September 1991, Carey underwent surgery to remove a cancerous tumor from his lung. True to the resilient nature of the characters he played, he returned to the set just 2 months later, continuing to record his famous opening narration even as his health declined. His last episodes aired in early 1994. On March 21, 1994, just 6 days after his 81st birthday, Macdonald Carey passed away from lung cancer at his home in Beverly Hills. The cast and crew of Days of Our Lives were devastated. Actress Deidre Hall, Marlena Evans, remembered the set as very still, recalling Carey as gentle and nurturing and charming as you would ever want to meet. The producers of the show were faced with an impossible question: how do you replace an icon? Their decision was a testament to his irreplaceable nature. They chose never to recast the role of Tom Horton. Instead, the character was written out with the dignity he deserved, dying peacefully off-screen. But more importantly, the producers left Carey's voice intact. To this day, even as the show has moved from NBC to Peacock, every episode opens with his intonation. Though he died in 1994, Macdonald Carey still speaks to us every single day. On his birthday, we remember the man behind the myth. He was a Marine, a Hitchcock leading man, a poet, a recovering alcoholic, and a father of 6. He was a Broadway star who found his greatest fame in a medium that critics initially sneered at, yet he approached it with the same professionalism he brought to every role. As his character's wife, Alice Horton, often symbolized the heart of the show, Macdonald Carey symbolized its soul. He was the steady hand on the hourglass, reminding us that while the sands may fall, the impact of a life well lived remains. Happy birthday, Macdonald Carey. The sands are still falling, but your voice and your legacy remain eternal.